Hello everyone. I think I'm going to change the name of this tub to my cherry shrimp breeding farm instead of cull tank because it really is not fitting. Um, it isn't a cull tank. I breed shrimp in here, I breed neos in here, I've even seen my Caridina species that I have in here starting to breed, so it is anything but a cull tank. So I'm going to change the name of it to my cherry shrimp farm as of this video. And there's also a few things that I've done to try and increase my cherry shrimp production because they kind of tailed off a little bit this year. And that is, if I'm very honest, that is with neglect because I've kind of been focusing on Taiwan bees and crystal red shrimp. This one has still been getting the same water changes as before, and it's still been, they still get lots of food and the filtration is very good, but it is not the optimal conditions for cherry shrimp, and I'll explain why. Cherry shrimp like a little bit harder water. Now this system is on the same water change system as my other tanks, which means they get soft water. So I'm going to be looking into ways to fix this, and one of the ones I've started to do just to get a little bit of a jump start and fix it is I need to raise the KH of the water. So the KH in this currently is probably a little bit higher than my other tanks, but I don't think it's still not high enough. So typically with cherry shrimp you want something that is higher than, I would say, a KH of probably 4. With crystals and Taiwan bees you ideally want the KH to be 0 or 1. And the way I get around doing this is by adding a source of calcium. Now there's a few ways you can add calcium into a tank. You can add it into the water flow over here like I've done, or you can stick it into your filter into the water flow as well, does the same thing, or you can add it directly to the water in powder form. And I've chosen a method that will generally release the calcium slower over time because it's safer for the shrimp for their health. Also your plants will suck up the calcium out of your water's makeup. So I'll just tell you the ways that you can raise the KH without buying fancy products and GH booster specifically designed for cherry shrimp, because you do get them. So let's start with what I've done. I have added eggshells to my tank. There's probably 13-14 whole eggshells that I've added. Now these were dried and washed and then crushed up a little bit and just put in the tank. And as you can see there in the water flow, and over the course of the week my KH will gradually rise, and that should be beneficial to my cherry shrimp. Another reason I'm doing this as well is because since I've started this tank over here, I've kind of fallen in love again with cherry shrimp, and I think this rock is providing a lot of minerals and vitamins and whatever else to the shrimp, because these shrimp have grown phenomenally fast, and I kind of want the same thing to happen in this tub, because the ones in here, by the time you see this video, you will understand that these shrimp, by the time you see it, they will be at least 5-6 weeks old, and they're at breeding age already, which is pretty fast, I think. And so I want that to happen in this tank, and it's not happening. When I look in here, I mean, I do see baby shrimp in here, but I don't see a lot of berry shrimp. I want them all to be buried, and I want them all to be carrying eggs. So we shall see how it goes. The other ways you can increase your KH is if you can get your hands on a supply of oyster grit. I believe they use that in chicken feed, oyster grit. If you go into some kind of like farm store, they will have oyster grit. Another one is chalk. If you can get yourself some chalk. I mean, for example, I have kilos and kilos of chalk outside that's used for, it's granulated chalk by the way, it's not powder chalk. That I use for in the garden, which is probably safe enough for shrimp in small quantities. The other one is if you can get your hands on some coral, either used in the saltwater industry or the reef community, because that will definitely raise your KH a little bit. Other reasons for doing this as well is because I want to see a little bit of an improvement in my plants. And they are growing, but they're growing a little bit slowly, so we shall see. So from this moment onwards, we shall rename this cult tank the Cherry Shrimp Farm 2016. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!